You are tuned into AFTERBUZZ TV for Empire Season 2, Episode 13, The Tameless of a Wolf. We have a lot to talk about. We are about to go in. Are you ready? Let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, it's merciless the grind. Sometimes we turn to crime, but the sun will always shine, yeah. Hey, hey. It's merciless the grind. Sometimes we turn to crime, but the sun will always shine, yeah.
Hey, what's up? We are the Fab Four. I am Bamm Ericsen.
Hey everyone, I'm Sofia Stanley.
Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Kennelia.
Hey, it's Emile Ennis Jr.
The baseline, I love the baseline. Okay, we have a lot to discuss. Camilla's dead. So, is this the end of her storyline? Is there more? What do you guys think?
Nah, bruh. No, she's dead. She's dead. And the funny thing is, yesterday, because I think I was a little shocked at how good Naomi Campbell was in this role. And I really enjoyed her presence on the show. I wish she could have been on longer. And because of that, I looked online, and there was an article or interview from Eileen Chaikin, who's one of the producers on the show, and she said, like, it's not going to be some twist, like, she's dead, like, it's dead.
I was shocked. Because last week I was like, oh, it's going to be a twist. She didn't swallow the liquid. And then she was at the funeral dead to the bed. So I was like, oh, shoot. I wasn't expecting it to be so straightforward.
Yeah.
For me, I completely agree with both Emile and Kennelia, but I think that I was a little upset. I think I'm a little bit of a dork because then in my mind, I would have thought it would not have been organic to her character to commit suicide. So to me, the reason she committed suicide was because she actually really cared about Hakeem. Mm-hmm. And the fact that Hakeem actually broke her heart and she was facing this without him, and in essence she did everything for him, then she theoretically and literally had nothing to live for. So that was actually a little sad for me that she really did believe in Antony and Cleopatra.
Yeah. Do you guys think that Hakeem and Cookie, or either one of them two, will find out Lucious planted the death?
Absolutely. But Lucious has done some of the most shady, outlandish stuff. Cookie knows that he killed Bunky. Mm-hmm. And she's still hanging out with him. So I don't think, once they find out, they're going to be like, oh, you Lucious, you did it again. And then the next week, they're going to be hanging out.
The only thing, though, that I don't understand, and I hope you guys can explain to me, so why did he have on the little booties?
Oh,
last week. So when he went to Camilla's apartment, why did he already have on like CSI booties not to leave incriminating evidence?
Oh, because he was gonna shoot her.
Yeah.
He was coming there to shoot her regardless.
He was coming there to kill her anyway.
I was slow. I get it.
Yeah. But then once he walked in and saw what happened, he was like, "Oh, I'm about to get this bitch, so I'm gonna let her kill herself."
Yeah, the work's already done.
Yeah. So
okay.
And then Rhonda is now the creative director, so we'll probably see more with that. There's not much to discuss now, but that's great for her. Mm-hmm. And then the last thing on this on the memorial is Andre apologizes to Rhonda for accusing her of cheating, and he's promising her that he's taking her meds. I think he's lying through his teeth. Do you guys think he's taking his meds?
Even if I don't have bipolar disorder. Nobody in my immediate family has it. However, you can suffer from bipolar disorder, be taking your meds, and things still go left.
Exactly, yeah.
So I think, yes, he said that, and he probably is taking his meds, but that, to me, that doesn't mean that he said it like, this will never happen again. No, we don't know that, because again, you get off balance, then you have to recalibrate, and then things happen. So I think he meant well, but I mean, we'll see.
I'm going to take a little bit of a different spin on that question, and I know that it's going to come up, and I can see where they're going with the storyline, and I think that Trey is doing an absolutely amazing job with his character. However, there's a part of me that as I'm watching that I'm like, does everyone forget he just lost a child? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't give no F's whether or not he's bipolar, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful. I mean that in the same point that you have a man who lost a child, and it seems as if no one is embracing him. No one is sharing in his loss. No one is mourning for him. So maybe he's having a moment because of that. Maybe he's actually questioning his wife because there's a part of him that blames her. And so it would be easier if she was in fact cheating to then deal with the situation, because then you could blame someone for something and get your anger out that has absolutely nothing to do with being bipolar.
Well said.
Good point.
Very good point. And one thing that I'll say about that is, you know, you live in a family where it's almost like everybody's fighting to be the top. Everybody, you know, everybody's trying. You have the Jackson 5, literally, and everybody's always fighting to be Michael. So therefore, because Andre is kind of like Tito. You know, he doesn't have musical. No. I don't mean it that way. But he's Tito. Tito likes to play his guitar, and he likes to be in the back, and he's not into all that limelight. So therefore, that's why he's Tito, not because he's, you know what I'm saying? So he's kind of like Tito, and so because he doesn't really care about all the other hoopla, it's kind of hard for him to get attention when it needs to be, as Sofia said.
Yeah, no, good point.
Did you guys notice during the intro how King's picture is still on
With the
intro?
flat top. I can't, man. With the,
I love it. CEO.
the haircut.
You.
Okay, now let's go into Cookie produces the Boom 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 video.
So glad that song is back on the show. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, yeah, so good.
And I really did miss you guys, though. I'm so sorry that I was gone for so long. I really did miss you. All of you and all of you.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh my God.
Bang, 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 bang.
We find out that through this process, he changed the concept of the video. And so Cookie's like, you need to really, really, you know, dig deep. And so we find out that as a kid, poor thing was doused in the tub.
We knew that. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but Cookie found out.
Yeah.
So Cookie finds out, and so now this is supposed to be part of the video. And after Leah, his mom realizes what she did, then she went and killed herself. And so from there, once she killed herself, he then was staying with a lady by the name of Miss Patton before social services came. He decided that he wanted to be out, and one of the places that he found himself sleeping was under the line, which is where he came up with the creation of the Lucious Lions. So,
You guys, that's fucked up.
very.
Do you know what I'm gonna say? Like, I know that we've obviously seen flashbacks of his mom and how she treated him. But I'm just gonna very quickly break it down. So your mom, in essence, tries to drown you because she is trying to cleanse you from whatever. When she then realizes what she did, she kills herself in front of you. I can't even fathom the amount of guilt that you must feel, because as a child at that age, now what you're doing is you're playing every single thing that you ever did that could be in any way wrong or bad to blame yourself for the fact that you had to have been cleansed, right? So you're literally walking around with that, let alone that level of violence to see at that young age with the first person who not only loves you, but is always supposed to love you. And I'm not saying that to negate the fact that he's still the devil, but I think it did put it in a different context. And I say all of that to say that I didn't like the video. So I had to kind of do that long lead up to be like, I didn't like the video. I know that they were doing it more for the reaction of everyone else and not necessarily the video, but I didn't think that the everything leading up was perfect. The interaction with the little kid and the acting and Cookie and so forth and so on, but the actual, what we saw in the video, I didn't like it.
Well, that's the same as insinuating that Lucious is the equivalent to Jay-Z, and those bars be trash. But anyway, this is my question. Lucious never said out of his mouth that she killed herself. People would ask and he never said yes. So my prediction later is that woman is not dead because they didn't show her shooting herself. When she spent it like Russian roulette, there was one bullet. He never, and then when they were like, your mom killed herself, he just gave that little sad look. He never said, yes, my mom committed suicide.
But then
he never said
I was
it.
gonna argue with you.
They never showed her dying. They never talked about. They never talked about anything. He never said she was dead.
That's a good point, because so even if the social services thing happened, it could have just been because she wasn't a fit mother.
Yeah.
So that's a very good point. Well, my take on it, I agree with everything that everybody said so far, but specifically to the video. And I understand it's a rough cut. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's a rough cut. But like even, and this is just me being nitpicky, even the quality of it just looked shitty. Like it just didn't, like, and to the actual contents of the song, like Kennelia said, the bars were trash. Like it did, I was watching it, I was just sitting there like, oh. Like I was cringing at the video. There was just something, so that took me out of everything, because prior to that, like Sofia said, there was something that was very not magical, but the scene between Cookie and Lucious was one of the most emotional, like one of the first scenes in this show where like I really didn't disregard everything that Lucious has been through, but I looked at him in a different way, even though it was knowledge that we already had. The way he was explaining it, it just made me feel for him in a way I haven't, and it kind of helped me to understand why Cookie constantly goes back to him, has like this fighting back and forth, and the fact that she was already struggling with her relationship with Lucious because of the history that they had. Now that she has this additional layer onto it, now the struggle is going to be even harder to deal with.
Emile, good point. Kennelia, great point. But I did think the video was trash too until a couple seconds ago, and then I just thought,
What?
Lucious is a rapper in his 40s. He's not a rapper in his 40s where he's still trying to be a 23-year-old. He's a rapper in his 40s, and so he's going in the route that he's going. He hasn't been consistent.
The old man, old man rap era.
And then also, hold on, and then also because of the era in which he grew up, I'm gonna assume the video is supposed to look 1980s,
Like
19...
it was shot in the handy cam?
Yeah,
Like
because
Curtis Blow,
I mean, look
like
at the
those-
wardrobe that the mom and the kid were wearing.
I mean, I guess.
That was like early 80s. So I'm you don't think?
No, I think that's actually an excellent point. I think the only difference is that I think that, and I don't know what the term is, Bamm, and maybe you will know. It's almost like I kind of needed them to break the fourth wall. So I understand what you're talking about in terms of the setting of the video, but I needed to feel more like documentary style. I needed it to feel more raw. So to me, that has nothing to do with like the actual equipment that you're using. That has to do with like how you're framing it. It has to do with like, are you actually capturing the emotion? Especially for me, if you want, because in essence, what Cookie was trying to do is Cookie was trying to wash away, literally, Lucious's sins by showing her sons the video. To me, it didn't do that. And the reason that Andre had such a visible reaction was because the gun is so literal. Like when she pulls a gun to her head and he's like, well, I did that. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh crap. Wait, those feelings I get, but the other ones I'm not sure, and maybe I need to watch it again. I wasn't feeling an emotional response enough to then merit when Cookie's like, no, but wait and listen. It's like, yo, this don't change anything. Like on some levels, like you should have kind of been happy with your birthday that everyone was there. Why didn't you just leave it there? I get it, and I think obviously it had to go, and I'm being nitpicky, and it had to go for the storyline to move forward. But on this instance, I wish Cookie had just been happy with the fact that all of her kids were together, that her husband was there, and for 2 hours at dinner they were going to call a truce and break bread, and she wouldn't have had to, just because she's catching feelings for this man who arguably would kill any one of his children. I don't care what the reason is. That's actually not my problem. My problem isn't that you actually had a psychological reason to do so. My only job as a mother should be to defend my children and to make sure that they're safe. And her basically having them understand him isn't going to keep them safe. It's only the other way around.
We are going to talk about Cookie's the dinner party in a bit, but going back to the whole Cookie Lucious thing, do you guys think it's unusual that a woman would marry, have 3 kids with a man who she doesn't know his real name?
No, because you can be out here with somebody the whole time and not know a damn thing about. Like,
No, but I mean, it's like work.
Yeah,
It's like, think about it. People work with people all the time. Does it make sense? And they don't even know their last name. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know them, but you don't really know them. So I don't think it's that weird at all. I think it would be weird if she knew that she didn't know his name.
Yeah, that would be weird. It's shitty. It's messed up, especially like she said, I went to jail for a man. I did 17 years for a man whose name I didn't even know. It's unfortunate that happened and that it came to that. But if you meet someone when you're 15 and he tells you this is back in the 80s, 90s, somebody tell you their name back then, you took them at surface value. Because if everybody in the neighborhood know, then everybody feel like they did their due diligence. They know who you are. So if he says, my name is Lucious Lyon, in 92, then your name is Lucious Lyon.
Yeah.
There was no Google. There was no search. That was it. You had to, especially he was selling dope. That was your street cred. I take what you say at for 100% value. So yeah, it's messed up, but I don't think it's far fetched.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Bamm? What do you think?
I think I wasn't sure because I've realized that married couples find out things about each other as you go along in the marriage. Certain things that may have happened to you as a child. There may be some things that you just simply don't want to talk about. And then when it comes up, it comes up. So yes, I think it's natural. Being that she's Cookie, but her real name is something else. So did he know?
Ophelia? What's her name?
Yeah, something like that.
Juanita.
I can't.
Latifah. It was something.
I'm making it up.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's Ophelia.
So who's to say that he knew her real name? Because when she went to federal prison, they called her Cookie Lyons. So, I mean, it can go both ways. Yeah. Now, with this Harper Scott character, do you think that Cookie is just jealous because she's a girl, or do you think she sees a snake?
I don't think she's
Or
jealous
both.
at all. Honestly, I didn't get a jealousy vibe. I got more of a
Shoe fly shoe.
yeah, like you're not really relevant to the situation right now. I'm trying to get Lucious back on the right track. We shouldn't be doing an expose tell-all documentary. This is what happened in his life right now. And if we are, let me do it through the video, not through your little article that you're doing. But she is cute, though. I'll give her that. She's cute.
The last thing about this damn Boom 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 video,
Boom, 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 boom.
they're making
Bang, bang, bang.
they're making a video 10 days before this damn awards, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's too late, and I'll equate the SAG Awards. Let me explain.
Okay.
When you vote for SAG, you have up until the day before the awards. So maybe for the ACE Awards, it's probably the same thing, but not everybody waits to the last minute. So you're gonna put this video out maybe 5 days before it comes out in order to get those last minute voters. But I just don't care about this stupid award.
Oh, I do. I do. I think that it's like it's credibility again. Because again, I think that we all know that, Lucious was somebody, but kind of when we're brought into it, he hadn't been actually making music at that point. So the fact that you have Lucious making music, Hakeem making music, Jamal making music, the fact that they're in the same category together, and I think it's brilliant. I think the timing of it is brilliant because just like you said, I think that because you vote up until the night before, I think that people by nature are procrastinators. So everyone waits till the last moment because everyone's waiting to see in terms of pop culture what's going on, to see which way the wind is blowing. That's the first part. The second part is maybe I'm a little bit of a cynic where I feel like the votes can be in and someone else can win. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's be 100.
Yeah.
So it's like at the end of the day, if there's some huge groundswell, you know what I mean, at the 11th hour, then all of a sudden you have the envelope open and it's something not necessarily that tallies with the votes.
I think our engineer put her name as Laretha.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, thank you,
That's
right.
thank you.
Laretha.
Yes.
I think in regards to the video though, I think it speaks to the generational divide between Lucious and his sons. Jamal and Hakeem, they did videos before, but they're not focusing on videos. And now this current generation of music, they don't care about videos that much.
And
People will
concepts.
put a video
Yeah, yeah.
out, but what station really is playing videos?
Yeah. And
But Lucious old school 90s, they were all about the video. I gotta get the video. That's remember his budget was like
Yeah,
million.
700, yeah.
It was a
Which was
big budget.
ridiculous.
That was like some old school
Yeah.
Benny Boom stuff. So he's still in that old school concept of I gotta get this video.
and
you guys both said that.
And then Sophia, I'll jump back on the other side. I guess it does actually make sense because most videos today aren't really conceptual. It's party, club, and performance shot. So with the fact that if he dropped this at the last minute, it get 10, 20 million viewers. It could persuade.
And also too, again, it's like, we do kind of for the most part have to equate it to a Jay-Z type character. Like, what if all of a sudden we found out that Jay-Z, I don't know, anything.
Yeah.
If there's anything about it, we would all want to know. So here you have, and I think it's also relevant, and is that his son outed him. Do you know what I'm trying to say? His son literally on the mic was like, yo, he ain't even real. Like, that ain't even his real name. Like, even though we knew that, when he said that, I was like, damn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, of course, everyone's now waiting. Like, what does it mean? What's his real name? Like, who is he? Like, all of this stuff. So it's like, I think that on some levels, like, people are going to be waiting with bated breath to see this. Because, again, it's real life drama. Because no matter how much they spin it, everyone knows that there's infighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, we all love this type of drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of drama, so the video concept changes. So now Frida is gone, and she's pissed because she walks up to the set thinking that she's about to be in the video with her little, with her wardrobe. And so she's out. And now she's with the brothers. I think the concept is great with Jamal and Frida.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I think it's great.
It's a great pairing.
Do you? I think we agree. And then I thought it was cool that they went out looking for her in the community. What? I was just like, oh God, Jamal's singing again.
Okay, well,
I was thinking that. I was watching it, hearing Bamm in my ear, like, yo, Bamm is gonna tear them a new one.
I briefly discussed this with Sofia in the lobby before we got in here. And the problem for me with that scene, I'm not saying I'm tired of hearing Jamal sing in every scene. However, I'm not saying that I'm not tired of hearing him sing in every scene. So that's the first thing. I think what really was a little disturbing for me is you have Hakeem, who is like supposed to be this big rapper for his generation. And who would the equivalent?
Like
Tyga.
Yeah.
Which, okay, now
Which is
so now that I heard that, then it makes sense. But Yaz is a rapper. He was a rapper before he even got on this show. And he is a very talented, but there was something about that scene. You have the little kid who did his rap who was amazing. And then Yaz came in, and Hakeem, the character, let's say Hakeem, came in. And it almost sounded like he wasn't even, like he couldn't even find the beat. Like, it bothered me.
So let me throw this in there. Again, it probably is realistic to their generation, because most rappers out right now with the success of someone like Hakeem's character can't rap that well. If they get into an actual cypher in the hood in Brooklyn, like Brownsville, you're probably gonna come up short.
You can't find the beat though.
But this is my thing is, I completely agree with you. But then my thing is, then don't do it. Like, at the end of the day, you guys were coming as executives into the neighborhood, right? When he was like, "Yo, my man, what do you got?" and the little kid was like, "Fire," he should have been like, "Yo, who's next?"
Exactly.
Like, he should have
Stay
actually
in
been
your lane.
stay in your lane. He should have been facilitating and finding new talent and not jumping in when it's like, "Yo, okay, like, you ain't really got it like that." That's not the kind of cred you're bringing, especially given the fact that, sorry, one last comment, if I'm correct, the first thing he said is, "Yo, I got a lot of money." Right? Isn't that the first line he spent? Really, dude? We all know that.
Well,
seriously, that you didn't earn. Like, I'm not trying to be a dickhead.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I am trying to be a dickhead.
Well, I'll say this, Sophia. That is a great suggestion that he should have done, but because he's not a great CEO, he wouldn't think of something like that.
Oh, I disagree. I think he's
He's
an
doing a
excellent
good
CEO.
job.
I think he's doing a really good job.
Company started.
I think that's actually his lane, and you actually saw it from Lion's Dynasty. I think that he is coming into his own and he is making decisions. I think that just because we don't agree with his decisions, or we may not agree with his motivation, I think he actually always gets the job done. And I think that the decisions he's making, I think the fact that he allowed his girlfriend to go on tour because I think he listened to his mom. The fact that the minute somehow, why can I not remember Gabby's character's name?
Becky.
Oh, how can I not remember Becky? The fact that Becky basically brought it to his attention that there was problems in DC, and he immediately went and handled the problem. He didn't delegate. He was like, "I'm the only one who can fix this." He fixed it, and then even with the whole, when Tiana saw them kissing, you thought, "Oh, this is gonna be drama." Fast forward, they're getting engaged. That look was kind of like, she was like, "Yo, respect. Like, you heard me. You gave me my concessions. I made concessions. At the end of the day, like, we were never really in love. I can respect that." They may go a different place with the storyline, and she may become crazy, and I'll have to eat crow.
Yeah.
So as I'm saying, and I know that's gonna happen. However, I think he handled it. I think he handled it given the fact that he was like, "Yeah, Camilla's not fit into Narc," and so he did the sex tape and something. Like, I think he's actually been making excellent decisions. Even that little, did you notice even with one of the assistants, he was like, "Yo, be on time next time." Like, he's handling stuff. I think that ironically though, his better space is as CEO, and you occasionally do performances because you are young and you're hot, and I think you're really good at kind of performing within the construct of a show. You just don't need to be trying to get street cred because it's kind of the whole sidewalk street thing.
Yeah.
You sidewalk. Be proud of being from the sidewalk. I'm sidewalk. You know what I mean? I'm a rep sidewalk every day, all day. But I'm not going to try to be street and then wonder why that's not working for me.
Yeah. One thing I'll say about Frida is I like the little makeover that she got. Do you guys remember that?
I noticed that
Do
too.
you remember the
But
rapper?
it's still organic.
Yeah. You remember the rapper Nonchalant? 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
No. What
Get yourself together.
Yeah.
Ever heard that song?
YouTube it. There's a rapper by the name of Nonchalant. You know, very. Frida has that cred, and she has that whole demeanor. She had short hair, and I like the fact that how they kind of rocked her and gave her the little finger waves. It fit her.
Agreed. I noticed that.
Yeah. Cookie finds out who Frida's dad is, and she looked like she was about to have a heart attack. This is kind of a prediction, but Frida is obviously going to find out, and so I have to call it. But Lucious or Cookie may have to kill the poor girl because she'll try and kill them.
I can see that. Actually.
Damn, she is gonna try to kill
She's
someone.
going to try to kill everybody.
It's gonna have to be Cookie.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that makes sense. Think about it. We haven't seen Cookie have to go there.
Yeah, she has to
We've
get blood
seen
on her
Lucious.
hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe not though. It might be like how on How to Get Away with Murder, Viola Davis never really killed someone, but everybody around her gets plucked and she gets blamed for it, or she's like the person like you did it, but she never actually pulls the trigger. So maybe it'll be like Cookie adjacent,
Yeah, that could happen too.
or maybe Derek Luke gonna come back and
Listen,
Oh wait! I'm sorry. One time, Kennelia, it was super late. One time, I wanted to call you so bad. I saw Derek Luke at the movies.
This
But it was it was at midnight. You go to bed.
I ain't. But I be in these streets now.
Okay. Well, I was like,
Who
ooh.
here doesn't go to bed at 10 o'clock? Me. You
Sofia
can call
be
me.
up.
I be talking about that hard part. Yo,
She be up.
Wait.
Yo, y'all, you all were about to hear the word that I never say on camera. So I'm about to zip it because I'm.
What is he going to see? Oh no.
I'll tell you offline.
All right, fine.
I'm sorry. I thought you had Derek. Or I thought you had Idris.
No, we share Idris. We share both actually.
Yeah.
We share everybody. Shoot.
Because we got good taste.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't know what to do with that. He's like,
Cookie's birthday dinner. Did you guys think prior to the actual birthday dinner? Did you guys think the sons were not going to show up?
I knew it was gonna be some little surprise thing.
yeah.
I'm such a dork. I didn't. Have I been gone too long? No, I thought it was gonna go like a completely different way, and I thought she was gonna try to seduce Lucious, and Lucious was gonna like do something mean.
I was not surprised the son showed up. I was surprised, but I literally thought Stevie Wonder was about to be in there, make another guest cameo.
Now I
did too.
did think that. When I heard that, I was like, Stevie.
And when she started running, she's like, "Oh, Stevie!"
I thought that too. What I found very deep is when Lucious says, y'all love your mama more than you hate me. I was like,
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
ew. So open for discussion. So we talked a little bit about it before, but Andre's reaction to the Boom 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 video. Do you guys think that, what did I say? Do you agree with Lucious not telling Andre about his grandmother being bipolar? Do you feel like anything he said made sense, or do you feel like he was dead wrong about keeping it a secret?
I don't agree or disagree. I think that's something where you can't really judge just because, like Sofia said, with what he dealt with as a child, and like Kennelia said, we don't really know if she actually shot herself and killed herself in front of him. But regardless, that whole situation is traumatizing. Because of that, the effects of that over your life as you grow up, it doesn't go away. To then have a son who you find out is bipolar, and knowing what you dealt with your mother, not knowing how to deal with that, I can't necessarily judge him for the way he has handled it over the years. The way Andre reacted, though, I think was very appropriate for his situation because his father had the knowledge of what his mother had gone through, and then seeing what Andre had gone through, and knowing that Andre put a gun to his head, all these different things, then you start to question, well, why didn't my father tell me anything or do anything? However, what I like is the fact that we had a knocking down the Chinese wall moment where Lucious said exactly how he felt. I'm embarrassed of you. And then I have respect for you because you tell me exactly how you feel. So like I said, I don't necessarily agree or disagree, but I just like that it finally came out. There's no let's play around, step around the subject of being bipolar. Everything came out. He said what he needed to say, and it is what it is. We'll see where the relationship goes from here, but we at least know how everybody feels.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that we've Sofia, you mentioned before about how Andre sometimes doesn't stand up to his father and how he kind of backpedals, or he's kind of timid with his dad. But when he said "to hell with you," I felt like he finally is like done with his father. He's not trying to kiss his ass. He don't care if he works for him. He's not trying to please his father anymore. He is done.
It's in that preacher voice.
Yeah. Hell with you. I mean, it was valid. Yes, Lucious, we don't know what he's been through and he's traumatized. But on the other side, imagine Andre as a child trying to figure out what's wrong with him. Because when you're a kid and nobody is there to explain what's going on with you, you probably are like, something's wrong with me. And so for Lucious to basically know what's wrong with him and to not say anything in regards to trying to get him some help, that's messed up. So when he said "to hell with you," I was like, yeah, good. There we go. Finally, get to that point where you see Lucious for what he is, and it's time to move forward. Move on.
Go ahead, man.
Okay. What was also messed up for me is it's one thing to say how you feel. Like, yes, I was embarrassed of my mom because she was a nut. I'm embarrassed because of you. And he said some other things about, why you think I made you go to all these different schools. I get all of that. But then to add insult to injury by saying, I let you marry Rhonda. Like, please.
And it also didn't make sense.
It didn't.
It didn't make sense. Like, so that you can have some sort of identity. What the heck? Like, that was almost so asinine that I think that's also why he had to reiterate, like, the hell with you. Like, I think he saw a moment of clarity. Now, I need to be very clear when I say what I'm about to say. I do not mean this as it relates to being bipolar. I'm saying this as it relates to how I think Lucious thinks. To me, Andre had an awakening. He has always felt that he was a stain on the legacy of the family. That, in essence, the bloodline was tarnished by him. Hold on. Sorry. He felt like the bloodline was tarnished by him being bipolar. He also felt that he was always continually letting down his dad because his dad had bipolar. And even he said that his dad almost felt like he wasn't actually one of his sons. In finding out that Lucious's mom is bipolar, it actually solidifies that I'm your son. And it means you gave this to me. Like, let's talk genetics. It means you're the motherfucking problem. You're the stain on this family. So it's ironic that something that you gave me and had full knowledge of, that you've been treating me this way, and it's you, motherfucker? Like, just because you don't have it, it's still you. You're the one who, from a genetic perspective of the lion, like lions and cubs and so forth and so on, when there's something that predisposes and you see, that's yours. So you have to own it. So I think in that moment he realized, not only did you not own it, but you didn't even, there was no aspect of compassion that you of all people know, I can't control this. So it negates the fact that what we've said before, where we've always kind of said things like, well, in certain communities we don't understand mental disorder, or in certain communities we don't this, in certain communities we don't that. Again, that's irrelevant to the fact if you have seen something before. You don't need to have a word for it, but in the same way that if your grandfather was an alcoholic and now all of a sudden one of the kids starts drinking too much and manifests, you may not have a word for it, but oh my God, grandpa kind of had a problem with whatever. You don't need to know what it is to know that that's running through the bloodline. So I think that in that moment for me, it shows that Lucious never takes accountability for anything. And if anything, this new realization or this new outing of who he really is actually going to make Lucious worse and not better. Because now he can really be like, oh yeah, see, I'm this way because my mom killed herself or didn't kill herself. And not because I then after that fact still chose to be a MFing asshole.
Why didn't anyone take Rhonda home? Why is this poor woman walking?
Because it's... Sorry.
Well, Rhonda, I don't know. She did... Maybe she stormed out, had a moment.
that was her choice.
I'm leaving, and then...
But
No, because
No,
also,
no, no.
why did her husband leave her? I'm confused. All she did is she just said about, like, Andre. She wasn't defending Lucious.
Yeah.
You don't just leave your woman. And yeah, not for nothing. So, again, Rhonda probably has on, what, $2,000 heels? Let's be 100. So a woman who wears $2,000 heels is walking. It's 2016. You call it
I was just about to say, you couldn't get Uber.
Yeah, so that don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Please. And then you have to call, as you're walking down the street, you have to call your girlfriend to pick you up.
Forget this. They're the Lions. Call a car service.
Thank you.
They probably have
There's
their own personal
car
drivers.
services.
Yeah,
outside
totally.
the
They probably have their
house.
own app.
Lucious driver. Hey, Lucious's driver.
Yeah.
Take me back home.
Completely. Totally.
The whole
Cookie
thing
ain't
just
driving.
yeah
She has a driver.
did not make sense, but I see why they did it because we haven't seen Boo Boo Kitty in 2 weeks, and so now that Rhonda is staying with Boo Boo Kitty, if you saw the preview for next week,
Y'all have to fill me. I didn't
See it
did-
either.
Oh, okay.
But I'm
Then
going
I
to
don't-
assume
Yeah.
that it's something she's going to find out because you can't live with somebody who's pregnant
Oh, let me
and
tell-
not know that they in the bathroom throwing up for morning
I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen in the preview. Boo Boo Kitty walks into the Lion House estate and says, "I'm pregnant and it's by Hakeem."
Great.
So it's it's
Well, it's about time it came out.
It's totally about time. Now this Tiana Get No Better tour, I have a lot to say.
Oh my God, man.
I hate the storyline. Not realistic. Becky, you're not a road manager, nor will she handle the situation in real life of dealing with artist performance and specifics. But apparently she got a freak on. Hey,
my
get it, Becky. The headliner will never come immediately after the opening act. What kind of grand entrance was that?
I agree with that.
Have you not seen Madonna, Janet, Beyonce, Mariah's intros? Well, let me tell you. Madonna stood on her head and threw her leg up in a yoga position and said, "Strike a pose for Vogue." Beyonce has been carried out with flowers thrown at her. Mariah Carey has walked through a crowd with her bodyguards, and if you dare touch her, security's like, "Get away, get away." You're just gonna walk. Janet has been on a ledge about barely enough to hold her. What the Yes, Kennelia?
Y'all remember after making the band went on tour?
Mm-hmm.
Danity Kane were the headliners.
Mm-hmm.
They walked out on stage. They, this, I think they're trying to set it up like Tiana is like the Rihanna, but not really. But the beginning, but she's not really. It's like Danity Kane being the main act, and then day 26 and Donnie Klang. So people just walk out from the side things. The lights don't work sometimes. They just standing in idle waiting for the song to change. Because yes, she's the headliner of the tour, but the tour is like the Scream tour with B2K in them. It's not like
She's not a
like
superstar
Jen.
yet.
I get that, but there were stairs. She could at least stood at the top of the stairs.
Oh my God.
It could have been dark. There could have been a light, and she could have had her hand on her head.
Again, and
Danity
I think,
Kane.
Not only Danity Kane,
Making
I would
the
actually
band.
argue. I think it's a generational difference. They kind of don't care.
Yeah.
I think you know what I mean? There's a generation that needs like the show and it needs all the whatever. And yeah, you get that when you're at a Beyonce level. But for the most part, like that's why people are literally like making videos in their home, in their closet, and it's going viral. People don't need all that. They're just happy that they're at a show. That's their favorite person.
Yeah.
She's doing her little hit move and in her little sequence thingy, and that's all they care about.
I have more to trash.
And see, and I don't. The only thing I care about is The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Hakeem
Yeah,
Durant.
yeah.
That's literally the only
Yeah.
thing I cared about. The entire sequence. When he literally got down on one knee and he proposed with that rock on some real talk.
Hakeem.
That I liked. I
Being
liked
a man.
her. I liked her family. I liked the way that her dad responded and he had a moment. I like how he articulated. And no matter whether or not Cookie and Lucious are together, I think that in a weird way, Hakeem is looking for family not only that he didn't have, but that in a weird way, the underlying foundation, ironically, is there. Because no matter what, Cookie and Lucious are divorced, and they're still totally together.
Yeah.
I hate the storyline.
Yeah.
The whole tour. This bitch is still in clothes. Like, where's your security?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and you don't have it. I think you're putting them.
Yeah,
I think
she's
you're
not.
putting them on a pedestal that they're not. And I think that the ironic thing is, and this is gonna sound silly, but I think that when you actually see what goes on behind stage, you're amazed how much sometimes things are literally put together with like gum. things aren't as fancy as you really think they are. And at the end of the day, when you're on your come up, which is what they are, things are exactly like we saw them.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll agree and disagree. So make sure to let us know what you think. You can jump online and go on iTunes and look for our podcast. Rate, comment, and subscribe 5 stars. Or you can talk to us online on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And let us know, were you team Tiana or were you team that was lame?
That was lame.
I'm having a coughing fit.
Yeah. And so now, if there's nothing else, let's go into Kennelia's cold piece of the week. DJ, drop it.
Cold piece of the week for this week's episode of Fox's Empire goes to Camilla for being dead to the bed. R.I.P. Boo. R.I.P. It was a good run last season. We had a time talking about how you were kind of old, but not really old, but kind of old, dating Hakeem, and it was creepy sometimes, and they had the whole mommy thing. But we were looking forward to you being back this season and wrecking havoc, and all of a sudden, girl, you are toast. So for that, R.I.P. shout out to Naomi Campbell for killing the role and doing a great job. Hopefully we'll see her in more things to come going forward. But for that reason, she gets cold piece of the week. And let us know who you think should get cold piece of the week. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook using hashtag cold piece.
All right. Just quick little news. So today, Lee Daniels was directing the new TV pilot for the Untitled pilot about the 3 girls.
Star.
Star. That stars the 3 girls in the singing group with Lenny Kravitz. I hear it's pretty good.
I didn't know Lenny was attached to it.
Yeah, so Lenny plays one of the daughters of the singers.
No.
He's the dad?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Lenny's the dad. I'm sorry. Yeah, Lenny's the dad. I'm sorry. Lenny's the dad of one of the daughters. In the singer
I'm
group.
confused. So is it the 3 Menage a Trois or is it different?
No, it's
different.
now.
Oh,
It's
thank
different.
you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's
I mean, I love them. I love them on
Yeah.
Empire. I just don't want to see a separate show about them.
Yes,
Sorry. Okay.
Speaking of Menage a Trois, I was so confused. Were those the same girls, or do they have? I couldn't.
That was
Same
them.
girl.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know because remember when we did the interview with one of them. So it's
I
definitely the same.
couldn't tell. They all had the ponytails, and I didn't know if
They
they've
didn't
been
have them
replaced.
well lit.
Okay. Yeah. So excited to see this if this pilot gets picked up, which I'm sure it will. But the fact that Lenny Kravitz is playing the lead, I'll check it out.
Yeah, that slip too.
I didn't see, but I heard.
Yeah. You need to.
He can
So,
find it.
and so now let's go into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, so I will start. I really want after Boo Boo Kitty reveals that she's pregnant, I want Laura to get pregnant and be like, nah, bitch, I got the air.
Oh my God! The ring and he's like loving hip hop.
Boo Boo Kitties would come first, but then Laura's would come and they would say, so I want something like that, having like drama with that. And then, gosh, that's the only thing I care about right now. I'm really excited about that.
I predict, like I said earlier, that Kelly Rowland's character is in fact not dead, and she will appear on some Lucious like Saudi, that she came around and not knowing where she was because he hadn't seen her in years.
That'll be good.
That type of situation. And she'll be like, son, I loved you the whole time. Like one of those. So that I predict that too. I also predict that once Laura finds out that Hakeem has his baby, Laura's family ain't having that, because you not bringing no dude like that into our nice home with this random baby and baby mama. Yeah. So I think that's going to be a problem. I hope, at least.
Me too. Me too.
My prediction is that we are finally going to see different teams. So the brothers will finally band together, and it will actually be the brothers versus Cookie and Lucious.
Yeah.
I don't have any immediate predictions, except that the whole thing with Franks and Frida, somebody's got to die. Maybe it's her. And as far as Laura's concerned, I hope that once Laura finds out that Hakeem is pregnant with Boo Boo Kitty's baby, I hope
Boo Boo Kitty's pregnant with Hakeem's baby.
Oh my God! Yeah, I hope that she goes get signs to Universal when she leaves.
Oh.
I don't like the storyline. Yeah, and
I hope that doesn't happen because I don't want her to leave the show.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
Laura.
I really like her too.
But
yeah.
I would like to see that on the show.
Yeah.
Like keep her around while she's doing her thing.
She can actually sing that song that they sang with the girl group. I love that song. The other
me
song
too.
for the headliner. Whack.
yeah. What?
That's why she was mad though.
Yeah. Because the
Because
Mirage
if you really
Etwise
start, you
song
ain't
is
worried.
better.
Completely.
I don't really like the Look But Don't Touch song.
I didn't like
Nothing
that
against-
outfit she had on with
Yeah.
that plastic black one shoulder asymmetrical
Who,
top.
Laura?
Okay, that I agree
Yeah.
with. That I agree. Well, because they were trying to make her look bad.
Yeah.
It's
The,
look
Yeah.
bad, girl.
Yeah.
Look bad.
the song on the beat is too like 2001. It's too
It was just basic to me.
yeah, it's too basic. But whatever the case is, we'll be back next week, and we always have more. So let everyone know where you guys can be found on social media.
You can find me at Emile Ennis Jr. and at Emile Ennis Jr. 31 on Snapchat.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Kennelia. I'm on Snapchat at Kennelia31. I'm also out in these streets, these comedy clubs. So hit me up on Twitter and Instagram to see when I'll be in Los Angeles performing.
And if you're still a little thirsty and you need a shot of conversation, check out our podcast, Happy Hour, and you can follow us at happyhour_TV. And if you want to talk directly to me, at Sofia Stanley, Twitter and Facebook, at the Sofia Stanley on Instagram.
And you can find me on social media at Bamm Ericsen, and I also Snapchat as well. And there was someone who shouted us out, and so I just want to say, hey, what's up to Damien, aka D Swag? They were waiting for us to recap the Empire recap. So we recapped it. We hope you enjoy, as well as everyone else out there that's watching. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week. Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.